Hey y'all, it's Kiki. Welcome to my Crackerjack Box. So, this video is going to be my 411 about lymphedema. And I know the glasses might distract a little bit because of the glare, but I want to make sure that I'm getting the information correctly. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my notes, okay? So let's see here. First of all, no, that's not good. Okay, first of all, lymphedema is a condition that you get where there's a blockage in your lymphatic system. And your lymphatic system includes your lymph nodes. So a lot of times people that have gone through chemo or something like that who have had to have their lymph nodes removed tend to get this. In addition, people who have a significant amount of swelling in their body, it's kind of like, you know how when you, let me see. Okay, you know how when you put, let's say we'll put water in a water balloon. And you know how the water balloon keeps expanding, but then eventually it gets too full and it kind of pops? It's kind of like that, because what happens is when you have the blockage in your lymphatic system, your fluid doesn't drain out of your body correctly. And so there's pockets of fluid that develop. And there's no cure, and the only way that you can get rid or can deal with it is to manage it a lot of times with massage and stuff like that. Let's see what we got here. Like I said, treatment to manage it. Okay, there's 4 stages. So the first stage is going to be abnormal flow. You're probably not going to see much of that. You're just going to have, your body's going to have abnormal flow of the fluid in your lymphatic system. And then when you get to stage 2, you're going to have some accumulation of fluid, which is going to result in swelling. That's usually what swelling is, like when you get swelling in your feet or hands or whatever. That's accumulation of fluid. It means that your fluid, the flow is not working correctly. Then we're going to move into stage 3, which is permanent swelling. It means your swelling just won't go down no matter how much you elevate it, no matter what you do. You pretty much just have swelling all the time. And then stage 4 is called elephantitis, and it basically means that you get a large deformed limb. So for me, mine started as obviously lymphedema, and it's in my left leg. So if you were to look at my left leg, you would see that it looks a lot bigger than my right leg. Let's see. It was a lot of swelling, and I have swelling in both legs. When you have a hard time moving around, you get a lot of swelling, and you're supposed to put your legs up and do all that stuff, which I try to do. But the problem is that I've had it for so long. And so when you have it for long periods of time, this is what can happen. You can develop lymphedema. That was one of the things that I was meaning when I was saying that I have a hard time losing weight, is because I have got fluid pockets in my leg and stuff like that that are in my feet that are causing additional weight to show up, and makes it hard for me to get around and do exercise and so forth. Let's see. Unfortunately, like I said, there's no cure. What tends to happen is you're going to get these pockets of fluid that are going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And you can look it up on the internet, but you're going to see people that may have a leg that looks like an elephant's leg, and then their other leg is like thin. And it is very, for me, honestly, it's embarrassing. It makes it hard for me to get around. My clothes, when I put them on, I've got one leg that barely fits into a pant leg, and then I've got another leg that is perfectly fine. I mean, it's not perfectly fine, but it's much better. And if I get bigger pants, then I've got one leg that's swimming and another leg that's just fitting correctly. It's very, very, very hard on the mental health. The other thing that can happen with lymphedema is that it can, for me, it usually happens in the limbs. It happens in the arms or the legs usually. And for me, like I said, it's in my leg. I had a cat. She was a lovely cat. Her name was Olive. And she had her nails. And I didn't want to get her declawed. It just, it just wasn't right. And she scratched me. And she scratched my leg. And at first, it wasn't that big of a deal. But when she scratched me, there was like leakage. And it's called a weeping wound. And basically, it's not blood really that comes out. It is fluid. And it's the lymphatic fluid. And one thing about lymphatic fluid is that it almost, I don't know if it's like a burning, but then it causes an itching. It's just insane. Anyway, and then you start scratching. And once you start scratching, you can get infections. And in my case, I was scratching on my leg because it itched. And I didn't realize that I had an infection. So I ended up with a really bad staph infection. And that again, something else that I was embarrassed about. Of course, the doctors informed me that, staph lives on your skin. So it's not about being dirty. It's about that there is a cut in your skin and then the staph gets in there. In this case, they weren't sure if it was staph or if it was cat scratch fever or whatever, but it was a result of my cat originally. So I had to get rid of my cat. I had to rehome her, which was devastating for me. I loved her so much. And now I have to be very careful with my legs and my feet and so forth. I can't, I'm supposed to wear shoes all the time. I'm not supposed to get any breaks in the skin. Another thing that happens with lymphedema is that your skin starts to stretch and dry out. And so that means that you have to have impeccable cleanliness with your skin, and you have to use lotion to make sure that your skin stays supple and moist because your system is not working correctly. And if your system's not working correctly, you can start to get breaks in the skin, which again, like I said, can lead to staph and can lead to infection. And any of you all that know anything about staph, you can die from staph. So I actually had waited quite a long time to go to the hospital, the ER. And when I finally did, they told me it was a good thing that I came in. Luckily, I didn't have to be put on antibiotics, that I could take the antibiotics orally, but I had, like I said, sorry, got my hairs all over. I had a really bad infection. Let's see. Skincare is important. I guess, let's see, what can we do here? For me, the other problem that I have is that with all the things that are going on, lymphedema is one of the more severe. The other ones are severe too, but like this one is like my third diagnosis. And I'm not gonna lie, when this was another diagnosis, I was just like, what? I mean, I have a laundry list of stuff going on, but like finally I was just like, what's the point? What's the point? Every time I turn around, I got something new. And, from the infection that I had on my legs, another thing that develops are these little, they're like wart-like pockets on your legs. They look like little warts, but they're not. And I have those all over my leg. I also have severe scarring from where the infection was on my leg. So now I have severe scarring. It can just be a big blow to your mental health. And for me, I already have a lot of things going on. So it just, one of the reasons, like I said, that I'm doing these videos is for educational purposes. I just want you to know that sometimes people don't necessarily look sick. Like if you saw me without, if I was just sitting somewhere or whatever, you wouldn't even know that I was really sick. You'd know that I was a heavier person, an overweight lady, but you wouldn't know that I was sick. But when you start to peel back the layers of clothes and you look into my health records, you would see all the things that are going on with me. I am tired a lot. And then one of the things with this is that it's painful. It can be painful because it's like your leg's heavy. If you're sedentary because of this, having a hard time getting around, your legs need to be elevated. And even with the elevation, sometimes the fluid builds up and it causes your legs to ache. Well, I already have aches from fibro and all that stuff. So it's just like one more thing to add to my laundry list. So that's one of the reasons that I don't go out much. When I do go out, it's because I have to. I go to my doctor because I have to go. I have groceries delivered. Pretty much the only time I have to go out usually is medical. I miss out on a lot of things. Like, I miss out on parties and holidays. If people don't come here, then I don't really go. It's hard for me. It's an ordeal just for me to get dressed and all that. But then to go out and get in the car and do all that stuff, it's very, very difficult. My shoes, that's another thing. My feet are very swollen. And then I'll have a shoe that'll fit on my right foot, but then it won't fit my left foot because my left leg and foot is so swollen and big. So it's like, sometimes I wear my slipper boots because one, I just like to, that's my style, I'll do what I want. But also because I can't fit a pair of shoes. I can't go to a shoe store and sit down and have my shoes or my feet measured because, first of all, they could be this way today, up a little more, down a little more, who knows what's going to happen. And also, it's too hard on me to go. A lot of my clothes that I wear are like loungeabout clothes. I do have pants and shorts and all these different things that when I go to the doctor, I do or can wear. I probably won't be wearing any more shorts because of my legs, but yeah. So there's a lot going on in this body, I have to tell you, and it's very depressing at times. I can tell you though that I'm finding a lot of joy doing the YouTube channel, and that's helping some. I feel like I have a purpose, even if it's just getting my message out there for people that maybe can't speak and don't have their voice yet, and they they know someone understands and they're not alone. So I think that's pretty much it. I don't really have a lot else to talk about. If you're interested, again, it's called lymphedema, and it's another one of those diseases that there's no cure for. So yeah. Anyway, that's that. I hope you guys have at least gotten some education out of it and maybe enjoyed my video. If you do, please like it. Give it a thumbs up there, and consider subscribing if you're not a subscriber. And yeah, maybe tell a friend or two. Put that notification bell on so you know that when I upload any of my videos or all of my videos. That would be nice. I didn't say in the beginning, but, to all of those people that are here that are new, thank you for joining. And those who have been here with me since the beginning of my channel, just a little while ago, thank you for sticking around. So I'll catch you in the next one. And remember, Kiki loves you.